A very warm good evening to one and all present over here. My name is Pallavi Minhas and I am representing Global Exposure India in today's webinar, which is a Delhi-based organization wherein we provide trainings for various English proficiency exams like TOEFL, CELPIP, and many others too. So we'll talk about a very popular, a very growing exam in today's webinar, which is CELPIP, and which provides the destination to Canada only. Before we start in, we'll just wait for one more minute so that others can join, and then we'll be going forward with the webinar. Just wait for one more minute and then we'll be starting up. Okay, I think we are good to go ahead now. We'll not wait for more time. And then to let things go in a smoother manner, I'll just be turning off my camera and we'll be moving ahead. So as you can see on my screen, as I already said, that the exam provides destination to Canada only. Hence, no other countries involved over here. So the first slide that I have over here is dealing with the full form of this exam. Now, the full form says Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program, which clearly portrays again that it is a Canadian-based exam only and no other countries indulged over here. Coming to the next slide, which is about the criteria. Whenever we appear for any exam, be it your any competitive exam or your normal exam as well, each and every exam is having the proper criteria, proper processes. So similarly, this exam is having a criteria too, which will be depending upon these things. But when we talk about this exam, it is not particularly for this exam, but when we talk about the PR process, which has been given by Western countries, so this is the criteria which is followed and which is required to be there. The first thing that falls under this category is your education qualification, which needs to be at least your bachelor degree. Then coming to the work experience, which needs to be at least of a year. Then coming to the age, which should lie between 17 to 45 years. And then coming to English proficiency exam, which can be either CELPIP or IELTS in the case of Canada only. Now, on the basis of these few things, you will be evaluated on the basis of given points. Like for education qualification, you will be evaluated out of 150 points. For your work experience, you will be evaluated out of 50 points. Coming to your age, you will be evaluated out of 110 points. And then on the basis of English proficiency, you will be evaluated out of 160 points. You can see the highest weightage has been carried by your English proficiency exam. So it is very important to choose this exam wisely. Altogether, they will form your CRS score, which is the selection factor. You might be familiar that the selection factor has changed now. It has become a point-based system. That is why these criteria or these particular things have been set so that your score can be evaluated on the basis of it. Now, CRS score is what? It is comprehensive rating score, wherein which you will have to attain the desired score given by the respective country, which will make your immigration possible to that respective country again. Coming to about CELPIP now, the next slide. We just talked about either IELTS or CELPIP, but you might be wondering, what is this CELPIP exam? What is it all about? So to give you an overview about this exam, we have this slide too. First point here says that CELPIP is one sitting, 1 day, 3 hours, and a computer-based exam. Now, why does it is saying that 1 day, 1 sitting? When you talk about IELTS exam, you know that it takes 2 days of yours, wherein reading, writing, and listening will be done on the first day, and the other module, which is speaking, is being covered in the second day, right? Similarly, coming to the next point, wherein it is being mentioned that it is 1 day and 3 hours exam. Now, why it is said that it is 3 hours exam? Because all the modules will be covered in the single day only. And then computer-based exam. So now what is this computer-based exam? Computer-based exam clearly means that it is having only one option. That is, you will have to go ahead with computer only. When we talk about IELTS, you know that we have two options. Either we can go ahead with computer-based exam, or we can go ahead with pen paper exam. But this exam can be only done on the computer only. Then coming to the second point, which comes with the validity. Validity remains the same as of IELTS. This exam is also valid for 2 complete years. Coming to third point, which is who are the conductors. So Paragon, which is a unit of QBC, Canadian unit, are the conductors for this exam. And then coming to the fourth part, which is in which all countries the exam is being conducted currently. So it is being conducted in Canada, USA, Philippines, UAE, Singapore, China, India, Korea, Japan, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Qatar, Nepal, Australia, and UK. In all these countries, the exam is being conducted. Coming to the next point, which is portraying the centers in India. Now, where in India this exam can be done? So these all are the places. First of all, I would want to tell you about Chandigarh. Why has been it highlighted as red? So the exam was introduced in 2018, which is CELPIP, and the only center was Chandigarh back then. But you know that previous few years were badly impacted by COVID. So the exam could not grasp any popularity. But now when the situation is back to normal and everything is running back, so the exam is gaining rapid growth, and we have multiple centers here in India also. New Delhi, Gurugram, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Kolkata. In all these cities, we can go and we can apply for the exam. So do not apply, but yes, we can appear for the exam. Coming to the next module, now we talked about CELPIP, we talked about certain other things too. But what is the major difference between CELPIP and IELTS? Why should one go ahead with IELTS? CELPIP, why not with IELTS? These are the major differences. First and the major difference is CELPIP is having 12 CLB in total. Now what is CLB? CLB is nothing but the measuring unit only. And IELTS is out of 9 bands, as you already know, right? CELPIP contains 12 CLB and IELTS contains 9 bands. Then coming to the significant score for PR process.
CLB 9 is the significant score for your PR to receive the invitation. Once you score CLB 9, you will be able to receive the PR. Now, what is the CLB 9? CLB 9 is the combination of 9999. Now, what does it mean? It means 9 in listening, 9 in writing, 9 in reading, and 9 in speaking again. But when we talk about IELTS, what is the required score? It is 8,777. 8 in listening, 7 in writing, 7 in reading, and 7 again in speaking, which should be out of 9 only. Coming to the next part, which is scoring 9 out of 12 is much easier than scoring 8 out of 9. Why? Because when we talk about scoring 9 out of 12, you had a good gap in between. But when we talk about scoring 8 out of 9, there is hardly any gap which is there. So it is really difficult to get the score which is 8 out of 9, and comparatively it is easier to get 9 out of 12. Now I said one thing, if you have noticed that CLB 9 is going to make your entry definite. Why did I say this? Because CLB 9 is going to give you a good hike on the basis of 3 modules and 3 things, right? What are those the 3 things that will be covering up in the coming slides? Fine, let's go to the next slide. Now, this is the point distribution. Here we have 2 categories on the basis of which points have been distributed. First one is with spouse, other one is without spouse. With spouse means when you and your partner both are giving the exam. Without spouse, only single person is giving the exam. Now, when I say that CLB 9 is the required score for your PR, I did not mean that CLB 9 is the eligibility score. Once you score CLB 7, you make yourself eligible for this exam, but the point distribution will be in given manner. Like CLB 7 will give 64 points with spouse, 68 points without spouse. CLB 8 will give 88 points with spouse, 92 points without spouse. CLB 9 will give 116 points with spouse and 124 points without spouse. CLB 10 will give 128 points with spouse and 136 without spouse. Right? This is how point has been divided, but our target is only CLB 9, which gives 116 with spouse and 124 without spouse. Now let me take you to the other slide, which will be very helpful for you. When I said that CLB 9 is going to make your entry definite, what was the reason behind it? So the reason is when we have 2 things, right? 2 factors in our profile, there might be chances that you might get a hike on the basis of 3 things that we already discussed. Now, what are those 2 factors? First factor is your additional qualification, which can be your master's degree, which can be your 1-year diploma program, but it should be after your graduation, right? This is the first thing. Second thing is your work experience should be more than 3 years. Now, 2 things are there. First is your educational qualification after your graduation, which will be the master's degree, which can be 1-year PG diploma program from an affiliated or a renowned organization. And the second one is your work experience, which should be more than 3 years. CLB 7 and 8 will give you 25 points over here in the first category. Similarly, 25 more points for the second category. But when it comes to CLB 9, it will give you 50 points for the first category, which is additional qualification. 50 more for the second category, which is more than 3 years of your working experience. Now, in total, let's have a look over to the point system. It provides CLB 9 with spouse, 52 for English proficiency, 50 for additional qualification, 50 for work experience, which become 152 in total, and which is a hike, a very good hike. Coming to without spouse, 156 English proficiency, 156 in total, in the breakage of 56 for your English proficiency, 50 for your additional qualification, 50 more for your work experience. Now you can clearly see that getting a hike of more than 150 points is nothing more than a blessing, and only this exam is providing this blessing. Now, I would request you all, if you have any query, kindly let me know, because we just discussed the background of this exam. Now, I will take you through the official site of CELPIP so that you can know about more things. Kindly let me know if anybody is having any confusion so far. I'm just resharing my screen. Meanwhile, you can talk about your queries.
For how long this exam is valid?
For 2 years.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now I'll be taking you through the official site of CELPIP. What we have to do is you can also go to the site at your homes as well, and by your laptop, by your phone, you can do it and you can explore the site even more. What we have to do is we go to Google, we type celpip.ca, celpip.ca, we search it. This is the address of the site. We click on it. I think we are getting some queries in the chat box. We will be addressing it just after this. Yes, this exam is only and only for Canada, and certificate program depends what kind of certificate it is. Now we just have an overlook over who all accepts CELPIP. So all these categories like permanent resident status, Canadian citizenship, Canadian experience class, federal skilled trades program, federal skilled worker program, starter visa program, SDS, which falls under the category of student direct stream, and then various provincial nominee programs. All these programs have been accepted by CELPIP and you can apply for them, right?
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening. You want to ask anything?
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask the basics of CELPIP.
That is what we are talking about only.
Actually, I joined late, ma'am, due to connection problem.
No worries, you will get to know in coming slides as well. I am just telling you for which all programs this exam is applicable, and then I'll be telling you the rest of the things in the coming slide. I'll go back to the slides. Just give me 2 more minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now I want to show one more thing to you, because there will be so many organizations in the market which will be providing the coaching for CELPIP only. And then which organization has to be chosen? How will you get this idea, right? So you just go to the official site of CELPIP, which is celpip.ca. Once you go to the agents part, right, you will able to see the agents over there in multiple countries. You have to select India over here. Once you select India, you will find the organization and you will also see the name of our organization as well. This is the link for our website. You can just go to our website from here as well. And we are the official partners for this CELPIP exam. Whatever information, whatever study material, whatever training we are going to provide you will totally be authentic and useful too. So this is what I wanted to show you from this. I'll be going back to the slides one more time. Meanwhile, if you have any query, you can just put it up. Either you can put it down on the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and speak it up.
What is the price of this exam, ma'am?
Oh, that I will be telling towards the coming part of this session. Not session, but yes, the slides too. Coming slides will be telling you all these things. Don't worry about that. Any other query beside this?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, hello.
Yes, I'm here only.
Yes, ma'am. Like in IELTS, we have IELTS General and IELTS Academic. Do we have the same in CELPIP, like CELPIP Academic and CELPIP General?
No, we don't have that. We only have a single exam for all the categories. Not all, but yes, for both the categories over here. So you need not to worry about IELTS Journal and IELTS Academy. This is a common exam for both the parts.
So as in if we want to give for study visa, so we'll be giving CELPIP the single exam only.
Yes.
That will be the marks will one scorecard is applicable to both, whether in study or whether in PR. Right, no one?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, I got your point, ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other
Okay.
query from anybody?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, is this exam eligible when we apply for study visa?
Yes, absolutely. I just showed you that. It was under the category of STS, which was study visa only.
Okay.
Yes. Any other query?
Ma'am, will this exam give any advantage at the time of PR and work permit?
Yes, absolutely, because this is the only or this is the own exam of Canada. They have only introduced it. So there will be comparatively more benefits, I would say.
Okay. So, ma'am, you does this mean that we fill one exam and we are applicable for both, for student as well and as well for PR also?
Yes.
All right, all right.
Totally depends upon your eligibility. If you are a 12th pass, you won't be able to apply for PR, no? But if you are a graduate having your masters as well, so yes, you can apply for any of the category.
Hanji, hanji. Okay, okay. Ma'am, I googled it, so it says the the listening module is difficult for the CELPIP. That is why IELTS is much better.
Okay, I will be coming on to the comparison part. You can
Ji.
see how it goes ahead and then you can put it in comparison. You can go ahead with this choice. Okay. First, we'll discuss the comparison and then you can make a choice. Any other query?
Ma'am,
Yes.
how can we get the training for this exam as there are no centers in near me?
Online mode. This exam is more beneficial when we learn or when we get trained online, because at the end it is a computer based exam, so it will be more convenient to get online coaching. Or if you are, yes,
Ma'am, so do they have centers in Delhi for exam, like exam centers, or they give the far
yes,
off like
they
your
have
Gaon and Noida?
centers in Delhi and they have centers in Gurgaon too, so you need
All
not to worry
right.
about that. I just showed that part. I think you were not there in the beginning,
Yes, ma'am.
so you might have
Ma'am,
skipped it.
I searched it. However, there are not much study material available for self-pip. So, how do we study? Even YouTube, there are no material for self-pip. So, do they give a book like IELTS give for Cambridge book? Do they give any books, such kind of books to prepare?
See, CELPIP is, that is why I told you, very confidential exam. The only organizations who are affiliated to it will be getting the authentic study material. That is why it is not available on Google or YouTube. So you will have to just get the
No,
training
no.
from affiliated organization.
Like, ma'am, when we register for IELTS, after a week or two, they give us a book to prepare, like which has sample papers. So, does CELPIP also give this book, any model test paper, sample papers? Do they provide us a book?
Arul, I would request you, all this question you would be getting answer in the coming slide. Let the coming slide be go.
All right. Ma'am
Please.
only asked if any questions.
No.
She can mute if she wants to say no.
Exactly. She are just covering this question in the coming slide. Need not to worry.
All
And
right.
again, she will be giving you a chance. If you have any question, you can ask.
So chance was given, no, that is why we said the question. She
But
said if you have any questions, no, that is why.
but
Otherwise, you could
all
mute
these questions,
everybody.
all these are questions are going to be answered in the coming slide. All our other are waiting because
Okay.
we are having limited time to cover all these slides.
Okay, let's go ahead now and then we will be covering up the doubts towards the end again. So you will get time for asking questions as well. So for time being, let's go ahead with the next part. So as you can see on my screen that I have opened the format. Just like IELTS, we have 4 modules here as well, which are listening, speaking, reading, and writing again. But the pattern is a bit different. Just like in listening over here, we have 6 parts. Speaking contains 8 parts. Reading is having 4 parts, and writing has only 2 sections. So this is what is the format of this exam. Now we'll go to all the modules, and then we will be comparing it with the other exam, which is IELTS. Let me just go to the other slide. Yes, this is the listening part. Now, when we talk about listening and when we talk about IELTS exam in particular, you know that we have 2 options. Either we can go ahead with computer-based exam or we can go ahead with pen paper exam, right? But you know that most of the people follow the traditional method, which is pen paper exam. So I will be drawing the comparison on the basis of pen paper exam of IELTS. Fine. So let's just start with the first thing, which is group exam in IELTS. You know that when you are appearing for IELTS exam, there will be 400 to 500 students in a single center, and you will have to share your resources with everyone, right? There can be many factors which can impact your performance. But when we talk about CELPIP, it is very dedicated exam, wherein you will get your personal cabin with your computer and your headsets. So you can do your exam without any disturbance over here. Coming to the origins of the language. So in IELTS, British English and American English both are included since it is an international based exam. But when we talk about CELPIP, since it is a Canadian exam only Canadian English will be there. Now you might be wondering that what is Canadian English? Canadian English is very much similar to American English. So only Canadian accent and Canadian spellings will be here in CELPIP exam. Coming to the number of questions, we have 40 questions in IELTS that needs to be done in 30 minutes only. That means you are not even getting 1 minute for one question. But when we come back to CELPIP, we have only 38 questions that needs to be done in only 55 minutes, wherein you can spend 1.5 minutes to each question. Coming to the required score, as we already discussed, that CELPIP asks for only 9 out of 12, which is just 75%. But when it comes to IELTS, you need to get at least 8 out of 9, which is 90% in total. Then coming to the number of correct answers, you need to get 37 correct answers, and you just have the margin of 3 wrong answers when it comes to IELTS. But when we talk about CELPIP, you can go ahead with even 33 correct answers, wherein you can go with 5 wrong answers too. So you can see the advantages that we are having when we go for CELPIP exam on the basis of the listening module. Then coming to the other module, which is writing, and which is very convenient when it comes to CELPIP. Now it has number of advantages which can improve your performance too. So let's discuss about writing part. Similarly, here we are having only 2 sections, which will be email and passage writing, right? The first section is letter writing in IELTS. The second section is essay writing. Letter writing is not very much different from email writing, because the format is the same and emails are also known as e-letters only. But when we talk about essay writing, you know that it is very complicated since you are getting 5 different varieties of essays here, and then you will have to recognize as which category is this, and then you will have to answer accordingly. But when we talk about passage writing in CELPIP, it is very convenient. A single kind of essay will be there, passage will be there, and you'll have to follow the same format only. You need not to do anything else. Other best part is you just need to type 150 and 150 words over here in both the sections. It is not asking for more. But when we talk about IELTS, you know that 150 words is the minimum requirement in first part. 250 is the minimum requirement in second part, which makes it 400 in total. But here you just have to type 300 words. Coming to the advantages, So here you don't get any auto word counter. Now, what is this auto word counter? Auto word counter, you might have seen MS Word file, no? Whenever we type anything, it gets automatically counted, and you can see the word word count just below your screen. Similarly, in CELPIP, there will be an auto word counter. Whatever you are writing will be there on your screen, and you can just have an overview over that. But when we talk about IELTS, there is no such auto word counter, and you will have to count down your words manually. Coming to the handwriting, so in IELTS, you know that handwriting plays a major role, right? If you're not so good with handwriting, it can be a huge disadvantage to you. But when we talk about CELPIP, it is just a typing based exam. Now, some people might be wondering that we are not so good with typing, so we might lag over here, but you need not to worry, because you just have to type 150 words, which is not a big deal, right? So you will be able to do it easily. Then coming to the best part, which is a spell checker. Now, no other exam provides spell checker, but CELPIP does. Let's say you have written any spelling which is wrong. So what will happen? There will be a red mark just below your word. You click on it and you can get it rectified. That is the best thing. But IELTS does not provide any spell checker. And then the editing in IELTS is also very difficult, since you are writing or penning down a paper. But when we talk about CELPIP, editing is very easy, very convenient. Why? Because you can anytime go back, you can anytime paste things up, you can anytime cut it. So it will be comparatively more convenient than the IELTS writing, right? I will go to the next part, which is reading. Reading in IELTS is a bit complicated because you get variety of questions over there. But when we talk about CELPIP, we only get one category or one variety of questions here that we will be discussing. Let's talk about IELTS. So here IELTS is having only 40 questions and CELPIP is having 38 questions in total. Coming to the correct answers required. So here you require 34 correct answers, whereas in CELPIP, you require only 31 correct answers to get the desired score, which is 9 out of 12, again 75%. But in IELTS, you require 7 out of 9, which is 78%. IELTS, you have to do it in a different platform, because you know that you will have to do it on a paper. There will be a screen and so many things will be there. But when we come to the CELPIP, since it is a computer-based exam, so everything will be done on the same screen. Now, talking about finding the answers. So finding the answers in IELTS are difficult. Why? Because there will be variety of questions. But when we talk about CELPIP, we have drop-down menu. Now, what is this drop-down menu? Drop-down menu is nothing but a combination of filling the blanks and MCQs. You'll get a blank, you click on it, you will see 4 options. Among those, you just have to choose the appropriate one. Each question is going to be in the same form. Now here, going back is also easy. Till the moment you have not submitted your answers, you can go back and you can change your answers anytime. But in IELTS, you know that you don't have this option. So this is the comparison on the basis of reading module. Now we'll go ahead with the last module and the most thrilling one, which is speaking. Now what happens over here in IELTS, you will have to do this module with an examiner, and you know that examiner sitting right in front of you is a proficient language speaker of the language. So it might hit you sometimes psychologically, right? But when we talk about CELPIP, you will have to do the activity with a computer only, and then you don't even have to turn your camera on. So such factor cannot impact your performance. So there will be no psychological factor. Then coming to the speaking time, 3 minutes to 2 to 3 minutes you have to speak in IELTS, but here you just have to speak for a single minute. Coming to the number of questions, so you have 20 questions here, including all the cue card questions. But when we talk about CELPIP, it is just 8 questions that you have to answer, that too for a single minute only. Coming to the time allotted, so 11 to 14 minutes in IELTS we get to answer. But when we talk about CELPIP, you get 15 to 20 minutes just to do this speaking part, wherein you will get particular gaps like 30 seconds for thinking, 30 seconds for just changing the question, right? Then coming to the desired score, it remains the same, 9 out of 12 in CELPIP. 7 out of 9, which is 78% in IELTS. So this is the comparison on the basis of these 4 modules. Now coming to the other slide, wherein you have some other major comparisons. Coming to the cost first. So IELTS, it is for 16,200 rupees. But when it comes to CELPIP, it is just for 12,800 rupees. Coming to the booking dates, you know that it is really difficult to get the booking dates for IELTS and you have to pre-book your exam. But when it comes to CELPIP, it is very flexible with booking dates and you can even book the exam in the same week too. Coming to the spoken English, as we already discussed. So CELPIP only is accepting Canadian English. You will get only Canadian English over there while appearing for CELPIP. IELTS, you will have to be familiar with both the origins of the language. CELPIP result will be declared in 3 to 5 days. When it comes to IELTS, it will take 13 days of yours just for the result. And coming to the modules, it remained the same, like listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So now we are up for discussion. If you have any query after going to these slides, you can just unmute yourself or you can even put it down on the chat box. We are here to discuss them. Kindly ask if you have any query.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Parul.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to know that where do we get the study material for CELPIP? Like I've given IELTS, so when they give a study material, like it's not study material exactly. It's it's a sample paper book kind of thing. So after when we register for the CELPIP, do they give a certain set of question paper, model test paper along with that?
I would
Hello.
request sir to take up the question, please.
Because it's very new for me, so I want to know that do they
No
give
worries, no
their
worries. Sir will be taking all the queries.
So, like once you are booking for the CELPIP exam, the CELPIP authority gives you a basic study material and a sample mock test. But somehow, since we are the one of the official partner here in India, and we are representing the CELPIP as a silver member over here in India, so we provide the complete official study material to our all students, and along with a good number of 30 numbers of official mock test. So these are the bundles which are otherwise available on cost of 13,000 rupees on website of the CELPIP. But since you need not to purchase, because we are here to support the candidate with our online and offline approach of supporting the candidate, we provide the absolutely free of cost to the students.
Okay, so in total we have 12,800 for the CELPIP fees plus
Ji.
your institution fees, that will be
12,000 for the entire 2 months training along with this supporting material.
with the supporting material. Okay, and to my question is that CELPIP, they do not provide their own after registering CELPIP, they themselves do not provide the sample test paper book, right? No.
Which they provide a very limited part of, which will not be fulfill your purpose.
Okay. I got your point, sir.
So this is a very new exam, and the entire pattern of this exam is quite different than your IELTS exam. So you have to get well versed with the exactly the pattern of this exam, because you are not only required to qualify, you are required to get the exclusive score, which is a CLB 9. So that way you have to prepare well. You have to get well versed with the like exactly the pattern of exam.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Any other query from anybody? Kindly let us know.
Ma'am, where are the centers for giving this exam?
Sorry?
Ma'am, where are the centers where we can give this exam?
Yes, there are multiple centers in Delhi, Gurugram, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Kolkata, Mumbai. All these centers are there wherein you can go and give your exam. Where are you residing currently?
I am residing in Punjab,
Punjab, which place?
Firozpur.
Oh, you can come to Chandigarh, then you can get your exam done over there.
Is the center in Chandigarh?
Yes, yes. The center is in Chandigarh.
And I can get training
You can
on.
go for online trainings. As I
Ma'am,
already said that it is, you can go for online trainings. As I said that it would be more convenient because the exam is also going to be computer based. So yes, it would be more convenient and helpful too.
ma'am, are there any offline training
Yes, it is there in our center at Delhi.
in Delhi?
Yes,
Okay.
right. Any other query from anybody? Okay, I think we have no other query. So I'll be just taking you to the next part, which will be the writing part. When we talked about writing in CELPIP, you might have seen that we said it is paragraph writing when it comes to section 2, right? It is not like IELTS. So you might be wondering, what is this paragraph? What kind of paragraph will it be? How it can be attempted? What all are the criteria to match the expectations? So I'll be just taking you through the writing part, which is a survey in particular. When we talk about survey writing, so what are surveys? In which decisions will be taken depending upon the opinion of the people and depending upon the decision taken by the majority, right? For example, let's say that I am the secretary of a society and you all are the participants, not participants, but the member particularly, right? So there is some fund which is there in the society, and then we have, or we can utilize it either on a gym or on a yoga center, right? In the, yes, formation of gym or a yoga center. Now I'll be giving you this option and I'll be conducting a survey wherein you all have to participate and you have to choose one option among them. When you choose an option, you have to mention the reasons too, that if gym should be there, why should it be there? And if a yoga center should be there, then why should again it be there, right? So what will be the format that I'll be mentioning over here? I have made the question clear. I hope it is clear to you all. So we'll start with an introduction directly, and introduction will be very straightforward since we need to type only 150 words. So I'll start it like this. I opine that yoga center would be a better option as it will provide numerous health benefits, right? And I can also extend it for 1 or 2 lines. Fine. You need not to type more than 3 lines for the introduction part, just because the word limit is only 150 words. Then we will be starting off with the argument. Now, when I say argument, argument stands for the reason that we will be mentioning over here. Argument will start like this. Oh, yes. Yoga center yoga is very flexible with the age. People belonging to different age groups will be able to seek its advantage, wherein when we talk about gym, only youngsters will be able to go and keep themselves healthy or motivated. You can write down anything that you like. Okay. Then we'll talk about the third paragraph, which will be the second argument. Now, when I say argument, I mean the reason again. Second argument can be based upon anything like we can say that yoga does not only help you with your physical health, but also does not help one. Instead of you, I'll put one over here. Also keeps one healthy. It also keeps one mentally fit. Now you can elaborate it a bit more that in the era of work stress, people are getting mentally sick. So it is very important to meditate and take care of your mental health, which can easily be done by yoga, right? This can be the second argument and the third paragraph. I will be coming towards the conclusion. Here will be the conclusion only. So we'll just say that to conclude, I support the first option because of the mentioned reasons. And if you want, you can again elaborate it more, but you don't need to extend it so much because it is just for 150 words only. So that is how we go ahead in this part. I have highlighted them in different colors so that you can understand which is the introduction, which is the argument, which is the second argument, and what is the conclusion over here. This is how we go ahead in survey writing and a paragraph writing part, followed by arguments and then coming to the conclusion. I hope it is clear to everybody over here. Though I'm not receiving any responses, I feel it is clear to you. And if you have any query right now, because we are just towards the end of the session, you can let me know. Taking you through the last slide, which is that we are providing you training and support followed by live classes, real-time mock test, and then study material, which will be affiliated to CELPIP official site and the exam. As I just showed you that we are the official partner, and whatever things we are going to provide you will be the authentic one. Then coming to the address, this is our address. If someone is residing in Delhi, you are free to visit us anytime. And this is the number of our head counselor, Mrs. Neha. She is having all the required information about immigration and CELPIP as well. If you still are left with any query, you can just have a discussion with her too, as you are going to receive a phone call by our counseling team by tomorrow. It's 7 bands, not bands, but CLB 7 out of 12. You will be eligible once you score CLB 9, as I said in the first few slides. So CLB 7 is the eligibility score. I hope it's clear. Any other query? If you have, kindly let us know.
Like CLP 7 is the eligibility score for applying the PR. So it doesn't mean that you would be getting your selection to the process. Like CLP 7 is the minimum requirement you fulfill for at least put up your file to the process. Next higher score could be the CLB 8 and then next is the CLB 9. Somehow with CLB, with CELPIP exam, you can go up to the CLB 12 also. So there is a possibility of CLB 10, 11 and 12. We are not considering 10, 11 and 12 because these are the score which are not easily like achievable. But since up to CLB 9, most of the candidates are getting easily. So once you are there with CLB 9 score, we can say that it is almost 100% that you would be getting your PR. So with this CLB 9, you achieve a 3 advantage, and which in term of a point system, you get a increment of a point more than 150 point in your CRS score. And that became a like decisive part in the entire PR procedure. Nobody can beat you by this additional advantage of 150 point, which suddenly you get with a CLB 9 score. And that's why you make your confirmed place into the success. Though otherwise you are eligible to apply for CLB 7 score, but will not be getting your chance to selection. Moreover, would like to clear, once you apply for your Canadian PR, your file remains for good 1 year into the process. And you know, the selection is on a monthly basis. Government of Canada used to declare a successful candidate list every month. And it is a more than 5,000 candidate every month getting selection in this PR procedure. So if you are not getting your chance in the first month, maybe in the second month, maybe in the third month, so you will be getting at least 12 chances to get it selected. And the best part is that once you put up your file to the process, you have the eligibility, you have the like flexibility to enhance your existing profile also. Like you might be getting an additional work experience during that period of time. You might go for the unfinished qualification, which is after your graduation and complete your any of the postgraduate qualification also, like 1 year PG diploma or ongoing master degree program. Or otherwise, you can improve your English proficiency score also beyond CLB 7 or 8 if you have put up your file. So the flexibility is that within that period of 12 months, you have a chance to improve your profile and update your profile with the like enhanced improved skills. So whatever you have just get the additional addition in your profile, you have the chance to endorse into the existing file, and immediately you would be getting the extra point for that extra updation. So that is the best part is you have your chance, 12 chance to get it selected, but CLB 9 with CLB 9, you will not be waiting much. It is a matter of a 2-3 months, you would be getting your PR. So any question related to this exam or PR procedure, most welcome.
We'll just wait for 1 more minute. If you have any query, kindly let us know.
Well, I would like to show a small video clip. Let me see if I able to just display that small video, because it is relevant to the current topic. So this is the video which I have taken from the YouTube, and it is a Canadian channel, and it is an interview of the candidate, those who have given both the exams like IELTS and CELPIP 1, and just go through his experience.
Hi Saket, I am so
Hi.
glad that you are here.
Hi.
And, a lot of people actually struggle with IELTS. A lot of people have asked that, we should do an IELTS versus CELPIP. So here we are. We have you, and, lovely to have you on the channel, and we'll talk about that.
Thank you for having me, actually.
So excited to hear your journeys. First, tell me, how many times did you give IELTS?
Very good question. 7 times.
7 times.
Yes.
तो कहाँ पे रह जाता था?
Writing में, I was getting listening 8, reading 8.
Okay.
And by the time writing comes, I used to get 6.5 or 6 every time.
No.
And then my speaking was 8 again. So
Okay.
yeah. So my general CRS was stuck at 408 since I started my express entry application.
Wow.
And it's been there for like 1 year. Yeah.
Okay. How many times did you give CELPIP, first of all?
CELPIP just once.
Once.
I just went, there was a new center opened in my hometown in Hyderabad.
Okay.
And I thought, just go and write CELPIP. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
So how is it different? Like 7 versus 1 is pretty unique, right? So how would you say it's different, and what is it that you like more about CELPIP?
Actually, in general, I felt like I have been in US for like 8 years now, right?
Gotcha.
And I know how they communicate and how to communicate with my managers or how to communicate with my friends and everything.
Right.
And CELPIP is that. Actually, writing CELPIP is like communicating it to a friend or communicating it to someone you know. Like in writing, you're communicating it to in a decent way, like someone you know. And here you don't have that tone. Like you have to in IELTS, you have to take care of many things while writing, but here you don't have to take.
So a person who happened to be a quite good 8-year to USA could not achieve the desirable score in 7 attempts of IELTS. But somehow he has achieved in a very first attempt through CELPIP. So those who are knowing this exam exactly, they are just simply going for this exam. So we are having further 1 minute more to just take your queries.
Sir,
Ji,
can we get the video link?
video link.
Yes.
Let me just recall the Potato Talkies. This is the channel name. Potato Talkies. Or otherwise, Tanishka, just leave your mobile number. I will be sending you on the WhatsApp to you.
Okay, sir.
I will share you the video. I have taken from that. It is a Canadian channel and it get review for all the immigration, all these things. I have taken from there only. I will be sending you.
If anybody is having any other query, kindly let us know. We are just having one last minute.
Those who want to have this video, just have their mobile number on chat. I will be definitely sending to all of them.
Fees for the course is 12,000 rupees only.
Okay. Another mobile number I will be definitely sharing.
Not unlimited for 2 months, but yes, if extra efforts are required, so we can extend it. Okay, thank you so much for all your queries and thank you so much joining in with us.
Ma'am,
Yes,
what will be the fees of your institution for online classes?
12,000,
Monthly basis.
not monthly basis, for the complete course.
It is for how many months?
It is for 2 months, but it can be extended too,
Okay, ma'am.
depending upon the requirements of the student.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Any other query? Any other query if anybody is having? Okay, I think we are done for the day. Thank you so much for joining.